All right, y'all. Welcome to an all new episode of That JUCO Life. It's Jaquan Bowden here. We're here with our latest guest, Brian Gardenhire.
It's
Brian
good, yeah.
Gardenhire, jack of all trades, CEO of LES Express.
Yes, sir.
Been for a couple years. Founder of Be Great Training. He's been training just about every single one of your favorite players here in New York City. Um, He's trained high school, college, pros. He does
Right.
it all. Runs so many leagues throughout the years, and winter leagues, summer leagues, and all that. But one thing a lot of people don't know about BG is that he was an assistant at ASA for a while. So that's one
Yep.
of the reasons why we have him on the show. So thanks for coming on the show, BG.
Nah, no problem.
Let's start off with Brian Gardenhire, the player. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I think I was listening to another interview with I think it was Megan someone else, but you started your high school basketball career at LaSalle, right?
Yeah.
LaSalle, and
Yes, sir.
I remember you posted something on Instagram a while ago on your page about you also played in Jersey at St. Mary's.
Yeah, I went to St. Anthony's first. Salute
Okay,
to Bob Hurley. I was at St. Anthony Friar. I went there my sophomore year,
okay,
leading into my junior year. And then I transferred to St. Mary's, which I played there my junior year, my senior year, and did well, man. I was first team all Hudson County both years, and second team all state of New Jersey.
oh that's amazing. So you've been putting up numbers and reaching accolades all along. So just like go step by step. Like how was let's start off with LaSalle. How was that like? How did you end up going to Jersey?
LaSalle was cool. I really went to LaSalle not knowing like the history of the school outside of what I knew from my peers. So
Right.
like I really went to LaSalle because of Shamgar. Like that was my idol, like
Right.
coming up. Like Sham, the way he played, the way he handled the basketball. I was a big fan of his. So I went there. Salute to Mega, and I went there as well. We was a product of the Boys Club. Boys Club. We traveled there from like 12 years old, going into high school, and I decided to go there, but I didn't know like they had a lot of basketball players on the side. Like LaSalle was like Rice. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
if you know anything about Rice, even the kids that didn't play at Rice was nice. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it was a lot of players, and I just thought like I was gonna play varsity like right away, and you know what I'm saying, have a 4-year career there, but I wound up playing freshman. Like I didn't even play JV. That's how loaded the school was.
Wow.
So
Wow. Okay.
so the school was like kind of like too loaded. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, like I tell kids, you got to do your homework. When you choosing these schools because you don't really know what's in the building. You know what I mean? So I left it there because it was just I kind of figured like I would have to go through a lot to get my goal. And it was adjustment too. It was all boys school. You know what I'm saying? Like not being around, you know, uh, girls and different things like that. It was a lot. I'm very strict. So I wound up just going to St. Anthony's. I actually had a aunt. My aunt lives in Jersey, so I always heard about St. Anthony's. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna go there. And kind of the same things happened there. I played JV my sophomore year, and I killed JV. Like I tore it up. You know what I'm saying? The first 4 or 5 games, I averaged like close to 30.
Oh,
So they moved me right up. They moved me right up to varsity, which I finished the season in varsity. But it was the same thing there. You do your homework, so they had Elijah Ingram there, Tony Tate, Donald Copeland, Terrence Roberts. Like the school was loaded. Like the school probably had like at least 7 to 8 Division I players on the team. You know what I'm saying? So I knew I could play there too because obviously Bob Hurley seen an interest in me, but I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna go to another school because there's gonna be a lot competing for minutes. You know what I mean? So I wanted to go to St. Mary, which is up the block, and the rest was history, man. Like I had a stellar career there. We struggled my first year to win a lot of games, but my last year we made some noise. We beat a lot of good teams my last year.
okay. Sounds awesome. So, a great high school career. Now let's transition to college. Like, what was your college career like?
College career was good. I didn't have the SAT score. I had the grades at GPA, but I didn't have the SAT score to go to school right away. So this is dope that we're talking about JUCO, because I actually wound up going to JUCO. You know what I mean? I went to Westchester Community College,
Okay.
up in Valhalla. So that was good, man. I did 2 years there. We won a region championship there both years. Lost in the districts, but had a stellar career there too. Salute to the great Coach Nicholas, who passed away. But I had a great career. Yeah, so salute to Westchester, man. They and that's what I tell kids too with JUCO. You have to be very again, do your homework with JUCO, your research, because a lot of JUCOs don't run their programs like 4-year schools. So I was fortunate to go to Westchester, as they had a full gym, weight room, cafeteria. Like, the school was beautiful. You know what I'm saying? So it felt like I was on a college campus. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Where we'll get into it with a lot of schools, even like ASA, like they don't have that luxury. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So my development there was great because we had weight room, we had all that stuff. We had 2 days, and the school was dope, man. So I wound up going there, graduated there. I didn't graduate in 2 years. I had to come back for another semester to graduate, and then I went on to go to the University of Rhode Island.
Nice. So, like, how was it at the University of Rhode Island?
It was a struggle. You know what I mean? It was a struggle because I had a loss of my grandfather, who I was very, very, very close to. I actually lived with my grandparents for my high school career. Right. So it was a struggle my first year, adjusting to college and everything like that. But I did okay my junior year. But I didn't finish out there. I didn't go back for my senior campaign. And I wound up just not finishing up there, and then I wound up doing some pro stuff.
Okay, cool. So let's great JUCO career at Westchester. And I ask my guests this question all the time. Who was the toughest player you played while at Westchester? Like, who was the toughest player you ever played?
You mean like as far as in JUCO?
As far as JUCO, yeah.
Wow, you going back? Sheesh. Man, I mean, for me, it was a lot. But my freshman year, we played against Kev Bell. I know you know who Kev Bell is.
Yes, definitely.
We played Kevin Bell was tough, man. Kev Bell. Kev actually was at D1 and then transferred to Monroe. But they whole team, they had Kev Bell, Ronnie Williams, who went to special effects, who went to St. John. That was a tough matchup. But we played this team, bro, in Allegheny. Actually, it was Allegheny, and they had Sonny Abrams, who went to Maryland. They had him, and they had the guard. I forgot his name, but he was at Maryland with Sonny. I can't think of his name right now, but he was super tough. Right. But we played some tough dudes, bro, because JUCO was loaded, and we would always go to Florida every year, and we would go to Southern Idaho, which I know you know. Southern Idaho, with Smush Parker went to Southern Idaho. It was a bunch of dudes who went there. So those tournaments was crazy, bro. Matter of fact, I'm lying. We played against the toughest guy I played against. He went to Washington. Oh my God, the kid's name. He was there with he was there the year after Brandon Roy. I can't think of his name. Light-skinned kid though. It's gonna come to me. But he was super tough, bro. He went to Washington University. Tough. So, but yeah, man, I have played against some dogs in JUCO, bro. Some dogs.
Oh yeah, I mean, I know that for a fact. Cause like you went to Westchester at a time where they was pumping a lot of Division I talent.
Yeah,
they was pumping a lot of Division I talent, and I remember a few years ago there was supposed to be a player that he was supposed to go to St. John's. I forgot his name.
Talking about the big kid.
Big play, rebounded like crazy,
Spanish kid. Yep.
And apparently what happened with him is that he he was academically ineligible.
Yeah, they had a whole. I mean, you talking about the whole thing where they had Gio McLean. They had him. They had the kid that was supposed to go to that school in Florida.
I remember Gio.
So yeah, that was tough, man. That was a tough Achilles heel for Westchester. Salute to my brother who was actually my assistant coach. He was the head coach there, Tom Mushat.
Okay.
Tyrone Moonshot. That's my guy. You know what I'm saying? That's my guy, Coach Ty. And yeah, it was that was tough, man, because that year I think they had about 5 Division I players who were
Right.
all, and they probably had like 2 or 3 of them that was gonna probably be pros. You know what I mean? Me and the NBA pro level, like. So yeah, that was a big hit for them. But yeah, like you said, we pumped out, Westchester pumped out a lot of Division I players. I actually went there because Shane Gatson, I don't know if you remember Shane Gatson, who went to Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
He went to Westchester, and then Damian Daniels, they call him a New York City Streetball, knows him as cross country. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? He
Shout
was
to him.
supposed to, he went there as well. But Westchester produced a lot of Division I basketball players.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, shout out to Westchester because basically Raekwon Taylor, who was one of our
That's
former
my
guests,
guy.
shout out to him, cool dude. His dad played at Westchester.
Yep.
His dad played at Westchester. Shout out to Corey Underwood. So
Oh yeah, CO. That's
shout out to him. Shout out to the OG. So moving right along, let's talk about transitioning from your playing days through college, high school, now to being on the coach end. Let's talk about your ASA experience. How did it come about? How did you get the job with ASA?
Oh man, ASA came about. I mean, like I tell people a lot of times, it's not what you know, but it's who you know. You know what I mean? And salute to Thomas Davis, my brother, man. That's my brother, man. We go back, 2 LES dudes, Lower East Side dudes. But Thomas Davis was he was the assistant coach there the year before I got there for Coach D on the girls side. And he wound up transitioning to get the head coaching job, and I was his first call. You know what I mean? He was like, yo, listen, I know you never coached college. I know you never coached even on the girls side. But he was like, yo, I need you. You know what I mean? What you do on the development side and your IQ and how you know the game, I need you. And I also actually, what people don't know is I actually have helped Spider on the other side as well. So I was on both sides. You know what I'm saying? I got a chance to coach on both sides, and it was great, man. We excelled on the girls side, man. Like, I mean, you talk about we send over 50 to 60, 55 players to college, Division I. You know what I'm saying? It's Division I and Division II, excuse me. But we sent over 20 kids high major Division I. You know what I mean? And we went to the national tournament when I was there. 3 out of the 4 years we went. So we went to the Elite Eight. The closest we got to win the national tournament was we actually went to the Elite Eight, which was a pillar of my success, which was amazing, man. And the crazy thing was, people don't know, we went there we only had 8 players. You know what I mean? So we went to the Elite Eight with 8 players, bro. You know what I'm saying?
That's big.
So that was crazy, man. And one player was playing on a torn meniscus. So it was crazy, bro. Like, that experience was amazing, man. Like I mean, we're in the history book. We're in the record books for beating a team by the most points. We beat a team by 150 something points. We scored the most points in NCAA. I mean NJCAA. We also have two players hold the current scoring records. One player scored 63 and one player scored 61. So we record holders in the junior college world.
Okay. Sounds amazing. So how long you was at ASA for?
I was there for 4 years.
Okay. And what led to you moving on from ASA and focusing more on your own league and as well as your training company?
I mean, honestly, and I tell people this, it was the way we was handled as coaches there, and I'm not throwing nobody under the bus, but for me, it wasn't feasible for me. You know what I'm saying? As far as the salary, the pay, and just expanding myself there as a coach. And what we did for that program, you would think that they would have done a lot more for us as coaches.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not going to go into the specifics of it. But for me, it just wasn't feasible for me to stay. I couldn't provide for myself and my family there. So it was just time for me to step aside. But I would have still liked to coach. And I've been there. But, I had to make that decision. And it's a decision I always still think about to this day, because it's like I still really wanted to coach, man. I love coaching there. You know what I mean?
Right. So will we really see Brian Gardenhire back on the sideline soon?
I don't know, man. I don't know if I coach junior college, but talking about junior college, I would say that a lot of people need to really look at JUCO, because JUCO is a second chance for kids. You know what I mean? A lot of people, and you cover a lot of basketball, PSAO, Catholic school, prep school, but a lot of kids don't necessarily have the core or the means to go right to college. So JUCO is really like a second chance for these kids, and what it does is it actually gives them a chance to restart their recruitment. And I tell kids a lot of times, like, don't look at JUCO as something of you failing. It's something actually of you restarting, like you're hitting the restart button. Because like you might have a kid that look at Rams, right? And Rams, had Seton Hall and had a lot of schools coming out of OSL, but now he's going to Oregon State. You know what I'm saying? Which is Pac-12, that's top 5. That's the top 5 college conference. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times JUCO gives you a chance to rebuild your recruitment back up. You know what I'm saying? And for coaches, it really teaches you how to get in the trenches, man. Like, with JUCO, you don't have the big budget you have in a 4-year school. You don't have the means to get on a plane and go recruit kids. Like, you got to do everything out, get it out the mud. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it teaches you how to really grind. You know what I mean? So, I mean, like I said, I had a fantastic experience at JUCO, and I think that we really need to build JUCO back up, because it's something that is a hidden jewel. And we came out with a documentary when I was at ASA called The Hidden Jewel of New York City, because my second to last year that I was there, we sent 8 girls Division I. You know what I mean? So it's like you could do so much with so little, but it's just about having that mental aspect of trying to really get it done.
Nice. Thanks for explaining that. I'm gonna check out that documentary, The Hidden Jewels. Coaching experience. You was there at ASA for 4 years. Now you've become more known as like one of the ambassadors in the community. Like, you have LES Express, basically one of the top tournaments in the city. You have with your brand, like you're giving kids in the Lower East Side, which to me, I found out the past few years is like one of the richest communities when it comes to basketball.
Yeah.
So many, like, I was supposed to go to the Vision Academy open run today, but with this ankle thing,
of course, your ankle, yeah,
putting me in a bad position. I can't go, but y'all got so many places to play ball. There's a couple of leagues out there. There's yours. There's LES Skills and Drills.
Yep.
There's a couple
others. My man Poopa.
Shout out to Poopa. Cool dude. I met him once before, but
good dude. Great heart, man. He got a great heart. Yeah.
No disrespect to anybody that I didn't shout out, but there's a lot going on. But yeah, so many leagues down there, and then so many players. Jalen Sinclair, Corey Williams, who played at Hostos.
Yeah.
Him on the show one day.
Lewis Courtright.
Yeah, Lewis Courtright, man, who's gonna be a killer at Quinnipiac.
Yeah, they actually came up. You know what I mean? But adding to what you're saying, like, if you ever visited, Lower East Side, it's so diverse. You know what I mean? From Chinatown to Little Italy to Soho, the shopping area. You know what I mean? But basketball wise, people don't know, like, we have so many, and you named a lot of them, but even going to the older guys, like from Jason Williams. I don't know if you remember Jason Williams, who played for the Nets.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Jason Williams is from the Lower East Side. You know what I mean? Mousy McFadder, who this is going back, but who took Cleveland State to the NCAA tournament. You know what I'm saying? To the Sweet 16. Like, then you got guys like Deron Lamb. You know what I'm saying? Kentucky, who won the national championship. He's from the Lower East Side. You know what I'm saying? His dad played for LIU. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, like, it's so many of us. But for me, when I decided to launch LES Express off, I felt like a lot of, like you said, it was so many Jews and so many like talented kids, but they never had a platform. You know what I mean? They never had like a platform to really show their games versus like the elite players. So like Jalen Sinclair and when I started LES, they were babies. They were like 8th grade, you know what I'm saying? 7th grade. But now, as them playing through the years in the tournament, and even salute to Mega, like Coach Mega, like that's my guy. Me and Mega go back. Even with his AAU program, you know, he was able to give his AAU program, you know, a platform to play against some of the top kids in New York City. You know what I'm saying? So it was just, for me, it's always about the give back, and it's always about giving opportunity to give people a platform. Because for me, I never had that when I was coming up at LES. Like I had to always go to the Rucker or West Fourth for Soul in the Hole, Turkey Park, or Kingdom. Like I had to always go everywhere else to get that kind of recognition. So for me, it was big to create, you know, a brand that was just as big as Dykeman or just as big as, you know, EBC. And you know, I'm proud to say that, you know, we make those strides, and you know, we're there now, and we're even getting better every year. And it's just great. Kudos to you yourself, Dave. Salute to Overtime. Salute to all the sponsors that helped me through the years to become a big brand. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I mean, you know, I think you know, COVID got kind of affected Streetball a little bit, not too much. You know, you had your event, Summer Ain't Dead.
Right.
You had that going on, even though I came at the wrong time. I came at the one-on-one. I caught that. Yeah, but it was a good event overall, and you know, other people been able to be creative and you know just do things with their brand just to give back to the kids, even though a lot of tournaments couldn't happen. So shout out to everybody. You know, there's too many to name who did big events this year for the summer, and like, you know, just have kids come out do open runs and workouts. Like,
Nah, for sure. Like that was big, bro. Like, I mean, first we did Isaiah Whitehead Day. We did his day where we collabed with him. We did a free clinic for the kids with the NYPD, and we did a high school game versus them and an Olympic game, which was crazy. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the amount of talent that we had out there was like a semi, like, you know, all American, all-star event game, you know. And big shout to Isaiah Whitehead, who continues to give back, not only to Coney Island but to New York. But yeah, so I said, you know, I want to do something for New York. You know, I had my workouts on Tuesdays and Thursdays for the whole summer, but I want to give the community just a basketball event for them to like be excited and to have some type of to be able to just have a sigh of relief. You know what I mean? Because like you said with COVID, you know, it a lot of people didn't really handle it too well. And you know, for basketball players, when you're used to playing 2 or 3 games a day to not playing no games, it's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, it kind of affects you. You know what I mean? So I came out with the Summer Ain't Dead Classic, because I just want to showcase a lot of the kids who I felt like would have had really big summers this year on the circuit and just in street ball. And it was crazy, man. Salute to Bucket Fam Rome. To you know, Anthony Marshall, who had 50 points, which was crazy. About to be another JUCO product. You know what I'm saying?
The Colby College in Kansas.
The Colby College, about to be another stellar JUCO product. But yeah, it was dope, bro. Like the crowd was packed. And like you said, we wound up doing a little one-on-one series. Salute to my brother Teron, who runs For the Love of the Game, which is another LES product. Salute to Teron. He's from Brooklyn, but he was, you know, raised in LES. But he has a dope thing going on, which is called For the Love of the City. Excuse me, not the game. For the Love of the City. Yeah, man, it's dope, man. But it was a dope event, man. And like you said, again, salute to everybody who did dope events, because, you know, it was hard. We as tournament directors decided that we wasn't going to do no leagues. You know what I mean? So it was very difficult not having basketball. From Dykeman to Hoops in the Sun to EBC to GERS to all the tournaments, you know what I mean? New York versus New York, we didn't have that. But salute to everybody who did something. And big salute to you know, like I said, a lot of people did stuff, but I want to give a big salute to Cha-Ching, who had a big event this past weekend, which was cool, man. And I think, you know, like I said, going forward, this was tough for New York, but it was also good because I feel like it brought the essence back to New York, like the real street ball essence, because cats really had to go back in they book bag and really put their hard hat on and playing these events that aren't really super as stellar as you would want to say. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, I definitely agree with you. Like, being at some events, seeing some games. I was at Hoops by the River a few times.
Will
This
Kelly,
summer,
speaking my brother Will, yeah.
shout out to Will Kelly, just knowing how to put something good on, just for the east side and having all the youth there, it was love, seeing the 16U championship.
I heard it was crazy.
That was a good game. Seeing the youth, you seen guys like future Division I talent coming out balling, RJ Green, Jaquan Sanders,
Oh,
DJ from Harlem. He's from the Hill.
I like it. That's the little guard, the little short guard.
Yeah,
Yo, I
yeah,
love his game, son.
yeah. He's nice. He's nice. He was killing at Guard Nation Sunday. I got there for the chip game because I was at Hoops and Sun earlier.
Okay.
For the summit.
For the summit. Yeah.
So shout out to Hoops and Sun for that. But yeah, he's a killer. But seeing so many of those guys play, and seeing the youth, got the future stars of tomorrow playing at Hoops by the River. Guard Nation, they did their thing this summer. Always great vibes. Everybody in the park chilling. Cha-Ching come out, he had to, his homecoming, he had to show out. And, it was good vibes. No BS.
Right.
Nobody getting into fighting anything. That was the great thing about it.
And that's the good thing, like you said. And it's crazy you said that because that's what I was telling people. Like, for me, I'm cool with watching the game and standing up by the gate. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as it's safe, as long as it's good energy, and that's the vibe and the feel you got. You know what I mean? And I tell people, like, and salute to these sponsors and these brands and these companies that really help us and get behind us. But you don't really need them. You know what I'm saying? As long as you got the support from the community, as long as you got the support from the people, you know what I'm saying, and your radius, you can do things. You know what I mean? And I think that's what this summer showed. Like, yes, the ambiance and the different production of these big tournaments is dope, but it's about the basketball. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, you're going there to see the basketball game. You know what I mean? Like, all that other stuff is great. So it shows you that you could do some dope things, man, with just having the support of your community.
Right. Definitely. And I think 2021, I think we can learn some things from this summer that we can carry into 2021, in my opinion. And I think 2021 will come back stronger than ever. Let's just make sure we got to get through COVID first and make sure we get rid of that. I think we will very soon. And then we can just go back to business and do better with events in the basketball community. So let's close out this interview. Last but not least, what is some advice that you have for our future prospects? High school season is going to happen in New York City.
Right.
I'm told. Even though there's like a lot of confusion going on with the opening of schools and stuff like that. I mean, I work in a school myself, so I know that's an issue. So, what advice do you have for like any future prospects? Looking for schools to go to and their future goals from your experience.
I mean, so that's like a two-part question. So, I mean, for me, like I said, I tell kids, man, it always starts and ends with work. You know what I mean? Like, you got to put the work in, and don't just work without a plan. You know what I mean? Like, make sure you working and setting goals for yourself so that where you can go back to the drawing board and see where you're at. You know what I mean? And the other part to that question also is, for me, just getting your grades right. You know what I'm saying? Like, New York City right now, a lot of these kids, they don't even know their current situation of where they at eligibility wise. So just take the time out now that we have this, a little bit of a breathing room to figure out, what you need to do to be a qualifier for college. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's Division I, whether it's Division II, whether it's even junior college. You know what I'm saying? And just figure out where you at, because that's where our biggest struggle as a city is being that, you know, our kids aren't qualifying right out of high school. And that's something that I want to educate the kids more on, and I want to take more time and get more people of the education field to come in and create some type of team to be able to help these kids. But that's the biggest thing, man. You know what I'm saying? And just keep your mental health right with everything that's going on. It may seem like it's a struggle, but things could be a lot worse. You know what I'm saying? So always look at the positive in your situation, and because, you know, like I said again, these kids aren't like us, man. We came from a different era. You know what I mean? Where we were more mentally tough. The bullying didn't really bother us too much. The being away from people didn't bother us. But these kids nowadays, they're so dependent on a lot of things, and that this COVID happened, it took away a lot of things from them. So just keep your mental health right, and just know that the best is yet to come for yourself, as long as you put together a plan and proceed to do the things to make the plan work.
All right. And, I mean, awesome. Great message right there. And BG, I just want to thank you for coming on to the show today.
No problem, bro.
Episode, a lot of gems dropped, a lot of history. I think when our viewers watch this, they're going to learn a lot from you in this one. And this episode will be up on a later date. I'm going to discuss with you once this is done recording, like what I need next from you, just to like make sure this episode gets posted. And
Sure.
that's about it. So thanks once again for being on the show. And for Brian Gardenhire, this is Jaquan Bowden. This is That JUCO Life. We out. Peace.
Appreciate you, bro.